The guy was shocked to see the girl he secretly liked painting for someone else. Out of jealousy, he purposely threw a basketball at her easel. What he didn't know was she liked him too. 3 years ago, she had finally worked up the courage to confess her feelings to him. But before she could, she accidentally discovered that he came from a wealthy, prominent family, someone completely out of her league. Feeling inferior, she backed off and buried her feelings deep inside. She never thought they'd meet again, but 3 years later, fate brought them back together. And even now, she still couldn't help falling for him. What she didn't know was, he had already made up his mind, he wanted to be with her. But when a friend casually asked her if she had a boyfriend, she panicked and said yes. The guy didn't believe it. He even asked her friends to confirm, and only when he heard she was still single did he finally feel relieved. Realizing her lie had been exposed, the girl was so embarrassed that she quickly packed up her supplies and tried to leave. But the guy suddenly asked her to have dinner with him. She wanted to say no, but he smiled and said, "You can either have dinner with me, or come with me to buy a whole new set of art supplies." What they didn't know was that someone else was watching, a scheming girl who also had a crush on the guy. Her eyes narrowed. Trouble was coming. Later, at the restaurant, the guy couldn't help thinking back to high school. The moment he started liking her was right after a basketball game, when he saw her for the first time. He had actually confessed to her once back then, but never got a response. Determined, he decided he'd pursue her all over again, not realizing she had never even received that confession. As the girl laughed at something on her phone, he suddenly felt a pang of jealousy. But before he could say anything, she got a sharp cramp and rushed to the restroom. That's when she realized her period had started, and she wasn't prepared. Flustered, she had no idea what to do, but the guy had already sensed something was wrong. Without saying a word, he headed to a nearby convenience store. It took everything in him to ask for what he needed, and just when he thought it was over, the clerk asked what brand he wanted. He froze again, but managed to get it done. He handed the bag to a kind stranger to deliver it to the girl. Curious, she opened it, only for everything inside to spill to the floor, including one item that landed right in the stranger's hand. Her face turned beet red as she scrambled to gather everything and run. But just as she was sneaking out, she heard the guy's voice calling her name. She stepped out, awkwardly holding the bag, and muttered a thank you, trying to flee again. Before she could, he stopped her, and gently tied his jacket around her waist. She was touched by his thoughtfulness and thanked him again. That night, back in her dorm, she washed the jacket and brought it to the basketball court, where he was playing. Watching him move with skill and confidence, she felt her heart flutter all over again. But just then, she saw the scheming girl walk up and hand him a bottle of water. Like a bucket of cold water, her mood instantly sank. She handed the jacket to her friend and turned to leave. The guy noticed and called her name, but she ran off without looking back. She didn't see the way he stood there staring in the direction she left, deep in thought. The scheming girl saw it all and felt threatened. Determined to stake her claim, she invited him to dinner at the restaurant where the girl worked. The guy agreed, intrigued. Once there, he eagerly asked the girl for recommendations on the restaurant's signature dishes. But the other girl cut in, saying her suggestions were too fattening, and dismissed her so they could dine alone.